What's up, skateboarders? So that's my version of what's up, gamers, I guess. Today I decided, let's skate mini ramp. So today we're gonna do 5 easy tricks in the mini ramp. So I'm kind of assuming you know how to drop in, if that's a safe assumption. If not, you need to know how to drop in. You put your tail here, put your back foot on your tail, front foot over the bolts, and you push all the way down on your front foot so your front wheels hit the deck. You don't want to lean too far back or you will fall. All right, so now that you know how to drop in, let's start. Here's the first trick we're going to talk about. And that's kind of like bonking in, except you're going to the tail. So it's really important that you know how to drop in really well. And then you just kind of roll and you just let those front wheels go over. Before you try it on something like this, you need to learn this on a curb or something where you're not going to get hurt. Because you could go too fast and go all the way into the ramp and fall. Or you could like get stuck up here and hang up and fall forward or something. So make sure you're comfortable doing this just on a curb or ledge. Just letting you roll, do a little manual, feel your back wheels pop over, and then let your tail smack and just stop. It's all about the timing and speed. So you don't want to go too fast. You just want to go fast enough that you can get those front wheels over without losing your board like that. So yeah, so you might want to go really slow and then give it a little push like that. So that little push, I'm just kind of scraping my tail, doing kind of like a manual that just scrapes the tail the whole time, and then letting it fall over the coping. Then you just drop in. All right, so let's talk about decking out your rock to fakies again, because I made a whole video on this, but nobody seemed to listen to it because every time I go to any skate park, I'm still seeing rock to fakies like this that just barely go over. And these are more dangerous. It's easier to hang up when you just barely stick your front truck over. So I'm talking again about throwing it all the way up and hitting your back truck against the coping. So do this and try to do a rock and roll out of it first. So just kind of hit the back truck. You're all the way locked in, you're secure, nothing's moving. When you're right here, there's a lot of sliding and moving going on. When you're right here, you're locked in. And then just try to rock and roll out first. That's easier than going to fakie. Then learn rock to fakies right here, and then slowly ease your way up where you're going farther and farther up. And it's really the same thing. You know, you can do some switch so you can go back in regular. You know, kind of like a disaster that goes all the way up, and then over time you'll just get to the point where you can get them all the way up, and it feels exactly the same as a normal rock to fakie. One thing, I don't know if I talked about this before, but you want to lean back into the ramp when you're doing this just to even out your weight, but you don't want to lean too far back. If you lean too far in the ramp, this might happen and you might fall back into the ramp. So it's just a balance, you know, lean back a little bit so that it's easier to pull back in. And this is going to make it easier to learn feeble fakies, blunts, and stuff like that. Let's talk about tail stall reverts. I feel like I have talked about that before in a video, but I can't remember. I've made so many videos. So learn to get into a tail stall. That's just rolling fakie, putting your weight on your back foot, stalling on the tail, and then dropping in. It's the easiest trick in all mini ramp skating. So after that, you want to ride kind of like halfway up the ramp and learn to do a revert. So all you're doing is kind of turning your shoulders and then pushing the board around with your feet. Just dragging it around with your feet. You want to have hard wheels. Soft wheels are not going to work for this. And after you can do it in the ramp, then it's the same thing. I think front side's easier. I can do them backside too. But yeah, get into a tail stall and then turn your shoulders. And then as you're dropping in, slide the board. You can hear that squeak with your back foot while you're kind of lifting your front foot up a little bit, and then put your front foot down, keep sliding around, and go back in fakie. This is probably the hardest one on here. I think this one is actually easier on a wooden ramp or one of those metal prefab ramps than it is on a concrete ramp like this. All right, so once you got that tail stall revert, 50-50 to fakies aren't that bad. First off, learn to do an axle stall. So stalling like this. So you're turning your shoulders, getting your back heel side wheels locked in, putting them both trucks down there on the coping and then turning your shoulders the rest of the way coming in. After that, go a little faster, a little more of an angle, and it'll just start grinding. You do the same thing, turn in regular. So after that, go back to the axle stall again. Get in an axle stall, but this time, when you're getting ready to come in, turn your shoulders the opposite way. And at first, you can kind of pivot off your front truck, but over time, try to get where you can actually slide. Just lift up and slide your back wheels in and go in fakie. Now this is a hard one. This might not be a beginner trick. It's a little more advanced, but it's a really fun trick once you get it. If it's on something small like this, it kind of is a beginner trick. So the trick I was planning on doing for the 5th trick is actually gonna get its own entire full video because I think it deserves it. So yeah, for the 5th trick, I could do so many different things. Blunt, rock to fakie, kickflip, rock to fakies, front disasters, back disasters, tail stalls. Not tail stall, but like 180 into a tail stall, like front tail and back tail. Let's do an axle stall into an axle stall the other way. That's a weird one. So that's not super easy, but you can practice it on a box or a ledge, something flat. But get into an axle stall, however you're comfortable doing it, and then turn your shoulders, lift your weight off of your front foot, and then turn everything around really quick with your feet so that you're facing the opposite way, then drop back in. You can do this with 50-50s, just go a little faster, grind it, and do it right in the middle of the 50-50. It's a really fun trick and it impresses people, but it's really not as hard as it looks because it looks extremely hard. But definitely get good on it on ledges before you try it in a ramp because you could slip out and fall on this one. All right, so after doing a few of these, I feel like the easiest way to do it is to come up fakie and then go into a 5-0 instead of an axle stall, like a pivot, and then sit it back down into a axle stall. It might be different for you. It's different for everybody, I'm sure. I found that this trick is actually easier on Thunders at this park, but Indies actually grind better at this park. At the other park I skate on this channel, the Thunders lock into the coping and grind a lot smoother, but at this park, there's no competition. The Indies grind smoother, so it's just different kinds of metals grind differently on different trucks. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. That's some of the medium level tricks on this mini ramp. So yeah, stay tuned because I've got that other trick is gonna be its own video. It deserves its own video, it's so weird. So yeah, hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, scroll through my channel. I've got a ton of videos on this channel and I'm sure there's something there for you. Hit that subscribe button and the bell because I'm gonna do a bunch more videos for this channel on everything I can possibly think of. If there's a certain trick you want to see a video on, let me know in the comment section below. And